Hi, group number threes. Welcome to this week's reading. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is pouring outside, which is nice. I like rain. It sounds pretty. So I'm gonna just leave it there, and I hope it doesn't annoy you too much. So, this week we are talking to our ancestors and getting them advice, getting their advice on our current situation, our current state of being, and this is the card that drew you guys in today. It is this crazy cool card. I was looking at it before I started your reading. It's got so many figures in it. There's like little gnomes down here. There's some goblins over here. It's a very like adventurers going out and adventuring type card, which is pretty cool. And the rune you have is this one here, which is Wunjo, I think is how you say it. And it is the rune of joy, as well as enlightenment and fulfillment. And I think also pleasure, maybe? Ecstasy, something like that. Okay, so this is the card that drew you in. Today we are getting advice from your ancestors. And as I said in the intro, your ancestors are just spirits you believe to be your ancestors. It doesn't have to be a specific relative, or honestly, it doesn't even have to be from this realm. If you're somebody who believes your soul came from another planet, those are your ancestors. So, yeah. So we're just calling in that energy of ancestor. We're not giving it a specific culture or name. There's just a lot of Celtic imagery because, ooh, that was a big thunder. There's just a lot of Celtic imagery in this because that is what I personally connect to as ancestor energy. So take it however you see and connects to you. All right? So we are going to shuffle these cards for you and do a 9-card spread, asking your ancestors for their advice on your current situation. So, ancestors of group number 3, please come through today. Please help us sort out our current situation. So, ancestors of group number 3, are there any cards you would like to put out first for this reading? I'm seeing these two before I do my normal. Yeah, okay. There we go. So I'm going to show you all of these cards first, and then I'm going to read them all together because this spread is really read any way. Like, it has a lot of different ways you can read it, so I'm going to let the cards speak to me about how they want to be read and understood. And so it's going to be a lot of me interpreting things today. So here we go. We have for you, group number 3s, your first card is the 5 of Stones, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Endurance. I am having trouble with this reflection today. All right. 5 of Stones, Endurance. We also have the card Knight of Vessels, Eel. Hi, Nagas. We also have the 9 of Bows, Respect. We actually just got this card in the same position in group number 2, so if you're called to that group, maybe check that one out too. Also have the 3 of Arrows, Jealousy. We have the Woodward. I believe this is Justice. Maybe? Yes. I believe this is Justice in this deck. The Woodward. We also have the Ace of Vessels, which is the Water of Life. There is the Great Bear. I think this is Judgment. I want to say it's Judgment. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with the imagery on the card. And we have the Four of Bows, Celebration. And lastly, we have 10, the Wheel. This is the Wheel of Fortune in a normal deck. The Wheel. All right, I'm going to organize and look at these cards real quick and then give you all of my thoughts on them. So hold please while I take a little look-see here, okay? Okay, so group number 3. What I'm seeing for you guys is you guys have really been on an adventurer's journey. This card really speaks true of you've been all the way down to hell and back. In the past, I'm seeing some kind of heavy traumatic event, whether it was just a moment or a breakup or losing a job or a loved one or something. There was something that broke your heart. There was some event that was very hard for you. Or maybe it was just a time period that was really hard for you. It felt like everything was happening at once. It felt like everything was coming down. Your whole world was coming down around you. And everything was on fire because all of these cards are on fire. It was a hard time for you in the recent past. There was a hard time for you guys. But I see you currently are coming out of it. There's still some work to be done. There's still some justice to be served. There's still some vigilance in the way you treat the world at the moment. Whether that's you really measure who you give your time to, or you really are cognizant of where you spend money, or I don't know, there's just some type of vigilance that I see here in your current energy. But I also see the most beautiful blossoming of hope, the most beautiful opening up of your heart space for love and affection, whether that is with, whether that's romantically or just with people in general. I'm seeing a real opening up of your heart space again. There's still vigilance there. It's not yet the Ace of Cups, but it gets there, which is beautiful. I think your ancestors are really saying that take this moment of the beginning of dawn, the start of the light coming in. Take this moment to really appreciate yourself for what you have been through, and that you have come out the other side, and that you've been really brave through this whole thing. You've been the child that endures the long, hard, quiet, stormy, whatever night. You've been the one that endures, and you have endured, and you're here today. And that in and of itself is something your ancestors are so grateful and proud of you for. Not everybody would have come through what you've been through as well as you have. So they're really praising you for this, and they're saying, we see your vigilance, we see that you're not recovered yet, but we know you will be. We know that your time is coming, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning yet again. The dark night has turned to dawn, which will turn to bright day again. This progression of your heart here goes from a broken one to a vigilant one to a fully open and flowing one. And that is beautiful. That is an amazing progression. Some people never get out of the broken heart space. They become forever the victim. And you have decided to rise up, be the knight that you are, and not be a victim any longer. So your ancestors are saying, celebrate that fact, know in your gut that things are changing, that things are going to change, that your bright sunny day is coming. Your hero's journey is not yet complete. This is only the beginning. That is fucking beautiful. So I'm just gonna shuffle these Wildwood cards one more time, just to get any extra messages that your guides have for you, because they are very concise here. Any other messages you would like me to highlight, please? Ooh, that one popped right out. Oh, okay. So we have 12, the mirror, I need to look up, I always need to look up this one to remember what it is. I know what it is, but I forget. So group number 3, you got this as your clarifier card. It is card number 12, the mirror, which is also the Hanged Man. I really like this version of the Hanged Man, not only because it's really pretty, but excuse me, but this card in particular has a lot of mythological energies into it, including the Morgan and the Lady of the Lake and King Arthur and like a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, the mirror, what I believe your guides are trying to say here is that your way forward, the way that you open your heart into the world again, the way that you are going to be able to heal and change is not by looking at the world around you, but instead holding up a mirror to yourself and understanding yourself and the flaws that you see there and the things that you see in yourself that you would like to change. I've been listening to a lot of therapy things and stuff, and about boundaries recently. So a lot of the verbiage that we use around boundaries talks about how we cannot, even though we set up boundaries to protect ourselves, we cannot change somebody else's behavior. We can only change our own behavior. So although we set up boundaries to protect ourselves, the people that cross those boundaries might not always respect them. They might continually cross over them. And it's important to keep in mind that we cannot change other people's behavior. We can only change our own. So though you may not tolerate a certain kind of behavior around you, if that behavior continues to happen, it's not your fault and your boundary is not invalid. It just means now it is time for you to take action yourself to protect yourself. It is time to see your own worth and hold your boundaries to protect yourself, to make a brighter future for you. And if that means walking away from certain people who continually break those boundaries, that is a thing you should do. But it should always be in the context of viewing your own self and doing what is best for you, instead of pointing the finger at somebody and saying that they need to change. I hope that makes sense. Yes, the way to open your heart to others is to first love yourself. As Real Paul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else, right? I don't fully buy into that because I believe loving somebody else can really show you how to love yourself, but it is it is a method. So, and it does help you if you are loving to yourself to be able to be loving and kind to others. Though they are not mutually exclusive. So I'm now going to, the last thing I'm going to do is I have this beautiful deck called Blessed Be. It is a deck full of blessings, and we are going to get one final blessing from your ancestors about this journey to reopen your heart space. Whether that's to romantic love or familial love or just people in general. Again, maybe you have just not shown anybody your heart because at one point it was made fun of or stomped on or told it wasn't good enough. But this is a journey to celebrate the reopening of your heart. So, ancestors of group number 3, could you give me one final blessing for group number 3 and their journey to reopen their heart after this long and painful journey? This one? All right. Ooh, I like this. All right. So we have for you card 26. Oh, let's focus. Here we go. Card 26, a blessing for the right words. This is a beautiful card. They're all beautiful cards in this deck. Not to brag or anything, but I freaking love this deck. And I would recommend it to you, especially since you're somebody who is looking to heal your heart space. This deck is a very good one for healing and love of self. This is a beautiful deck for that. So we have card 26, a blessing for the right words. 26, a blessing for the right words. A blessing for apt speech, to call to your lips the right words that speak simply and clearly and find their mark. May the words that fall from your lips be blessed, friend. In times when we must speak of difficult things, it can be a great challenge to conjure up the words that best express our feelings and intent without causing offense to harm another. We struggle sometimes to find this balance, and in doing so, our words may be watered down, lost in the desire to appease, in the wish to do no harm. But with this blessing, there will be words that come to find you without effort. The words alight by the fires of inspiration, and they will flow from your mind to your mouth and be heard fully and fairly. May you be blessed this day with the speech of good sense, the conversation that clears and clarifies, and most of all, the words that will be heard by those you need to understand and to listen. May you be blessed with the words that stir hearts, that make friends of minds that were once firm against yours. May your words, like water, seep their way into the cracks of the stone and work their magic of transformation within. Your words are spells, and their magic can take time. But with the apt speech that you are blessed with this day, doors of understanding open up between you and others. And where you once fell silent, you will speak up. Where you once faltered and shied away from difficult things that must be said, you will rise and flow through this challenge and embrace the opportunity to give voice to the darkness. Where once you let others speak and heard only your own words in your mind, you will now hear them out in the world. Now, To know you have used those words as others use weapons, but not for battle, rather for courage and understanding. May you find ways to cut through the falsehoods that others and their words can weave about you. Let your words be songs of praise as they flow from the gift of speech you have been blessed with. May you no longer stay quiet, friend, for you have been blessed with the power of right speech, and it will serve you well each time you sing out your truth. Blessed be. Wow, I really love this book. It's super beautiful, you guys. So, yeah, speak out your truth. Only by speaking out your truth will you be able to open your space fully to others, to understand who you are and where you want to go. I know, Kiri, it's raining outside. My poor little cat just came in all wet because it's raining outside. Yeah, well, you could have stayed inside, but you didn't. Oh, I thank you so much for being here, group number 3. Thank you for listening to this reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for clicking through to this video so you can see your reading. I hope this format works out because we might do it again. I hope you guys have a blessed everything. Thank you so much for watching. This was Pan. Bye, you guys.